Welcome back, Knights. I'm Mary.
And I'm Josh. Welcome back to the first Shield episode of the new school year.
In today's episode, we're taking it virtual to talk about a new tech company started by students, football, what went into planning this crazy school year, and things to do while quarantining besides stare at a Zoom call.
If you haven't noticed, school looks a bit different this year. And what I mean by that is we're not actually in the school, but it's 2020. How much worse could things get?
Classrooms are now Zoom calls, and the football stands are now computer screens. In other words, it's a pretty strange year. Let's see what went into planning the 2020 school year. Here's Becca with that interview.
A science teacher at Nicolet High School. Her teaching has been greatly impacted by the global pandemic, forcing Nicolet teachers to go entirely virtual.
We spent a lot of time this summer as a team just talking about how things would have to be different. You know, we had to really think about, like, how will this look? How can we change it to make sure that students are learning and still at least try to make it interesting and fun? We also then talked about, how do we get kids to work together? How do we get them to brainstorm? Because, you know, working in your own little silo, sometimes you don't have the same ideas or problem solving concepts along the way. And so we were given the quote unquote power to put kids in breakout rooms, really rethink everything. Even the notes that we give, it's so hard because when you're in person, you can see and tell, you know, you just get that gut feeling as a teacher from faces and body language that, okay, they're not getting this at all. I need to back up and start over or do a different example. And on Zoom, that's really tough. So we've broken down our assessments even to be in smaller pieces so that we can get a better gauge of where students are and whether we can keep going or slow down.
You mentioned breakout rooms. How is that, how is it different from normal labs? How has that affected it?
I think as a teacher, you learn really quickly how to, have a conversation here and then be able to hear what's going on at the other 6 lab stations. And I can't do that with breakout rooms. I can join one room, but I have no idea if misconceptions are taking place in any of the other rooms at the time. So that's really hard.
How has it been just meeting students online? The majority you're not going to know, and this is the first time you're going to be meeting them over Zoom. So
yeah, that's been really hard. So no one goes into education to be sitting in a classroom by themselves staring at a screen. It's been hard. And I think the enrichments have really helped. The resources have really helped. Overall, I would say it's taken a lot longer to learn my students, for sure. And there's some that I feel like I don't know at all yet. It's hard to get to know them in this setting, but we're doing our best.
Angie Winkle is just one teacher of many whom the epidemic has forced to adapt and change their teaching.
It's cool to see all the hard work that went into planning this crazy school year.
Speaking of virtual, 2 students have taken advantage of quarantine and have started up a new tech company. Here's Charlie interviewing the founding members of Fox Innovations.
We are a company that develops 3D printed do-it-yourself technology kits. The big goal behind this is not necessarily trying to sell as many things as possible, but it's to get people to rediscover what it means to be a maker or to make things with your own hands. We explored building a ventilator that can be used that doesn't require compressed air and oxygen, and that is being manufactured right now by Concordia University. So we've recently expanded into commercial products, and that is where our business model came out a little bit more. We are selling them something that will allow them to discover how much they like to build things, how much they like to build technology. And then that'll possibly, we hope, spark them to pursue even more things in the future. Not even necessarily from us, but just to go out and be inspired to make things.
We found out about this competition hosted by Concordia University called CU Launch. It's kind of a business plan and entrepreneurship competition. And then there's some prize money, and then you get to work with a mentor, and then they help you develop your business plan and stuff like that.
We are currently experiencing some struggles when it comes to COVID-19 more now than we did in the past. Like right now, we're trying to have a lot more consumer and customer conversations, like talking to people and getting information from them, like, what problems do you have about this? Or how does it feel when you yourself, get to make something with your own hands?
At the moment, people would like yell at you and run away if you tried to like walk up to someone with a clipboard, right? So you can't really talk to just random people in public at the moment, which I mean makes total sense. But it does make it a lot more difficult to collect useful data. In the future, we would like to expand and hopefully allow for other students participating in FEAR to be allowed to develop and sell their own products on our platform. So just kind of spreading the joy of like making things and like kind of teaching people how to make things and making the ability to make things more widely available to other people.
That's awesome to see students taking advantage of the weird school year to do things really creative.
But there are many other things to do besides start a tech company. Here's Kat with some ideas of things to do other than stare at a Zoom call.
Feel free to pause the video if you need to. Step 1 is to fold your paper horizontally and vertically. And then you want to fold it on both diagonals. Next, you fold it inwards to form a triangle. And from that triangle, you fold each corner up to the top to make a diamond shape. Then you fold those corners down once more, making half a diamond, and you do the same thing on the other side. This is the more complicated part. You have to unfold the corner and pop out the center, thus making these little square shapes. Do that for all 4. Then you fold the triangle part over on both sides. Now what you want to do is go between the 2 creases and pop it outwards. There is a divot between the triangle spaces, so you can fold that over. From there, you just take it and you twist all 4 of the sticking up sides to make a spiral effect. Now you get rid of the pointy corners simply by folding them over. And your rose is complete.
I mean, this virtual stuff is great and all, but is there anything still happening in person?
I mean, we do have fall sports.
Well, can we go to the games?
Well, no. But you can watch the live streams of the games right here on Night Vision Network. Here's Jimmy and Josh reporting on the Knights football season.
This has been a pretty good year so far for the Nicolay football team. Their current record is 1-4, but they have been very competitive in all of their games. They were even the team of the week after defeating Slinger 27-7 in week 2. This performance was anchored by 4 touchdowns from senior quarterback Matt, 3 of them going to Cole. Braden led the defense with 14 tackles. Today we spoke to seniors Matt and Jeremy about this year's Nicolay Knights football team.
So I know that you're a senior this year. Has that leadership role stepped up your game?
I'd say yes, it had, because I'm just there to help him out, and I think, it increases my game a lot more.
What do you think is the ceiling for this Nicolay team? How much potential do we have?
We have a lot of potential this year. We have a bunch of fast players, a great O-line. Our weapons on offense are just really good this year. On defense, we fly to the ball. We always make tackles, gang tackle all the time. The ceiling is obviously winning the last 3 of our games.
In past years, we just didn't have that chemistry like we have this year because we go to team dinners. We do stuff outside of football. We do little hangouts. We go to do fantasy footballs. We have a little fun with our team. So.
Our last 3 games are Cedarburg, Whitefish Bay, and West Bend West. Those are all winnable games, so I feel like those 3 games we could all win with our talent.
Sounds like the Knights football team is expecting a huge winning streak to end the year. We wish them good luck for their game against Cedarburg on Friday.
That's all we have for our first Shield episode. Thank you so much for tuning in, and please make sure to subscribe to the Night Vision News Network on YouTube, and also join our live streams. Thank you. I'm Josh.
And I'm Mary. Have a great day, Nicolay.